TechTV, I don't own the rights to the name, clearly. Or if it wasn't clear, it's clear. I don't. But I was there. And people remember it. It holds a special place in their hearts. And then G4 came, well, I'm sorry, G4 didn't come along. All those assets, all the IP basically rolled into G4. And it became something completely different. I was not a part of G4 at all in any way, shape, or form. But where I feel the G4 reboot may have missed the mark is not because of the zeal, not because of what they were trying to do, not because of how they realized there was a value in doing something that at one point was different, trying to bring that into the modern era. I feel that was the right decision to make, because you can't, and this is where it gets kind of, a little nostalgic. You can't bring back, or you can't resurrect a 20-plus-year-old television network and expect it to be relevant today. You have to do things differently. And this is where I feel like if G4 would have taken the approach of community investment, and not crowdfunding is the wrong word, but this is where I've learned about these new business models, specifically for like YouTubers and streamers, where you could lay out a plan, say, hey, here's what we want to do, and here's what we're going to do. Here's who we're going to need. This is how much it might cost us. This is the investment we need, and here's your potential ROI. You lay all that out. You let people buy into that at $50, $100, whatever it happens to be, $50 on up. I think $50 is the baseline. Is the SEC? Is that the government entity that regulates? You give them a baseline. But if you let the community buy into that vision, they have ownership. And this is, honestly, maybe this is bigger picture. I feel that's going to play in, I'm sorry, I'm on a big soapbox here. I feel it's going to play into the future, if it works well, the future growth of channels as almost like a next iteration of what those channels can be. Because right now that model is creator creates content, channel creates content, people consume, people watch, people experience. And there's a value in that. Certainly people create that, the creators create that value. But when there's an opportunity to actually invest in and buy into that value and believe in that vision and the ability to execute that vision, suddenly there is a return. That's what an investment is. So if G4 would have taken the approach of saying, this is what we want to do, and you can be an investor, small time. We're not talking like VCs, like people with like wads of dough. Like someone's got, an extra 50 to spare or 100 to spare, right? Not certainly something that's going to break the bank. You throw it in, they buy into it. Then they're a part of it, and they can help guide it, and they can help make it be something that it had an opportunity to be. And so, I'm not going to woulda, shoulda, coulda it. I mean, obviously I wasn't in charge of that. I was not in charge of TechTV, not even close. I feel like being able to bring the community or audience into the actual experience itself, it's always been, I feel top of mind for me. Because, I mean, I like integrating chat. I like interacting with people. I like making it more cohesive, rather than just a talking head, because everyone's doing a talking head. But what about bringing more people into the fold?